23rd of November, Rabbi Moore, Parsha Hashavua, Toldos.
You hear me?
Sorry I'm late.
Okay. Well, you're earlier than some others.
Yeah,
Okay.
Else. I'm not sure why. We're up to 26.
We're up to 20. We're up to chapter 25.
5.
We're up to chapter 25. Pasuk. Yeah, we're up to Pasuk 26. Correct.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
So V'acharei chen yatsa achiv v'yado o chezes v'akev Esav v'yikra shemo Yaakov v'yitzchak ben shishim shana b'ledes osam. Okay, so it says after that, his brother came out with his hand grasping the heel of Esav. And he called his name Yaakov, and Yitzchak was 60 years old when she bore them.
Right.
Okay, so Rashi says, V'acharei chen yatsa achiv v'gomer. After that, his brother emerged, etc. Shemati midrash agada. Let's see. I have heard in a midrash agada.
Yeah, right. Agadic explanation.
How do you translate agadic?
I don't know. It's from the Agada. Agada, I don't know. Agada is
Story?
homiletics.
Homiletics. Okay. Hador show, which interprets it, expounds it. Lefi Peshuto, according to its simple meaning, Badin Haya.
As follows, right? As follows. Badin
Haya Ochez Bo. Let's see. What?
La'akvoy.
Oh, I have that as a separate piece. So by right, he was grasping him.
Oh, he was right. He was holding on to him
to prevent him. Yaakov Notzar. Yaakov was formed mi tipa rishona, from the first drop. The Esav mean hashnia, and Esav from the second. So they're saying that they're fraternal twins, that different sperm were responsible for each of them.
Yeah, you mean okay, I guess what you mean. They weren't identical, but they definitely weren't identical twins.
I thought that was a machlokas.
What?
I thought that was a machlokas. I heard that was a machlokas.
Yeah, because they didn't look alike. I mean, one was hairy and one wasn't.
Right, but there are differences in the environment of the womb that could explain that.
Okay, I don't know. I'm not sure, but anyway, look, this according to this explanation, there were, as you said, they were fraternal.
They have to be fraternal,
right?
Say ulamad. Go out and learn. Mish fo feres, from a tube.
Right.
shepiha kitzara, that its opening is narrow.
Okay.
Tain ba shtei avanim, put in it 2 stones. Zo achar zo, one after the other. Ha nich neses rishonah, the one that goes in first, teitze acharona, will come out last. V'ha nich neses acharona, and the one that goes in last, teitze rishona, will come out first. Nimtza, we find.
Thus, yeah, no, it literally means nimta. Thus, the result is
Esav ha-notzar ba'acharona. Esav, who was formed afterwards, Yotza Rishon, emerged.
He was formed from the second drop of semen, of seed, Yotza Rishon, he came out first.
Yaakov, Shenotzar Rishona, Yaakov, who was formed first, Yatza Acharon, emerged afterwards. Yaakov ba le'achbo, so Yaakov came to prevent Sheyehei Rishon le'leda, so that he should be the firstborn. Kirishon litzira, as first being formed. V'yif tor es rachama, and he would issue first from the womb.
Yeah, the point is he would be the first out. Yiftas rachama, this means he would open her womb. Means he'd be the first one out of her womb.
V'yitol es habichora min hadin, and take the birthright of the firstborn by law.
By right. Right? You take the firstborn.
I have a big problem with Rashi's understanding of biology here.
You're not the only one. Yes. What would you want to say?
Well, the womb is not a tube. It's more like a balloon than a tube. And there's movement inside the womb. We know that from here. We have a raya right here that it says that they were fighting.
Understand the question, where does conception take place? In the womb itself?
Yeah. Conception takes place in the womb.
Okay.
The egg descends, the egg descends
into the
womb, and it's floating around, and the sperm come in through the canal, and they're floating around, or they're swimming around, and they meet up. And I guess with fraternal twins, it must be that there's more than one egg that comes down.
If it's fraternal twins, yeah, then it's 2 eggs.
Right.
I mean,
but they're not in a tube. They're in a balloon. And they're moving around in there. It says that this one was running towards the Avodah Zarah. This one was running towards the Beis Midrash. And even without that, we know that fetuses move around. We do ultrasounds. We see different positions.
This is based on a medrash, actually. I don't know. The Maisa, the halacha is that the child that comes out first is the firstborn, and not the one who's conceived first. And that's the mashmos of Rashi over here.
Right. So Esav was the firstborn.
Right. We had a similar discussion about in the Parshas Kiseitze. It says that that one was conceived first and the other one was the firstborn. We also had this problem. The Maisa, both right to being the firstborn. The birthright goes after the one who's born first, and similar, whatever. That's basically, and so to over here. Okay.
We also have the same problem I mentioned before, which is how can Rashi attribute intelligence to the fetus? That the fetus is saying, "Oh, I was first. I want to come out first." The fetus doesn't have a intelligence like that.
Well, as a physical being, but the Maisa, the neshama exists.
So you're saying
Whether the neshama has any control over the fetus, where it's going to be instilled, right? The neshama is going to be put into that fetus. Whether the neshama has any control over that fetus, and that is a bit of a chiddush. I don't know. Normally, we don't
there
say
also
so.
a source that says the neshama doesn't attach for 30 days?
I don't know, but Pashtus is that the neshama comes into the child when the child is born.
When it's born.
At birth.
So that's after he grabbed the heel.
L'chayra.
Yeah, I had heard that the reason we do a pidyon haben at 30 days is because and also laws about burial is that the neshama is not attached to the body, to the baby until 30 days is over.
That I don't know that because the mice Pashtus halachically, I don't know. This I have not heard. The Pashtus is the reason why 30 days is because then we know the child has lived long enough to establish that he is a viable being.
Right.
In fact, if we know that the child has gone full term and therefore he's probably generally children born after full term pregnancy are going to live, then our opinion is that you don't have to, even without 30 days, if he dies within 30 days, he gets a proper burial.
Okay.
So that's a discussion. Others say the Maisa that with the boy, with the bris, by the bris, then that's when the neshama. But Pashas is a neshama even before when the child is born. Maybe it's not fully there. It's not fully settled into the body until after the bris. That I've heard. Maybe it's also this thing of 30 days. I don't know. I've not heard of such a thing. That doesn't mean anything. But I'm just saying that's something I've heard before. Okay.
Okay. Vayikra Shemo Yaakov. He called his name.
I have a Rashi about Cave Esau.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. Cave Esav, on the heel of Esav. Siman, it's a sign. She'ein zeh maspik ligmor malchuso. That he will not have sufficient to complete the kingship.
He won't manage. It doesn't mean have sufficient. He won't manage to fully, how do you say the right word? Let's see how I translate it over here. Consolidate.
Consolidate his rule.
Right.
You're trying to complete more as consolidate?
Yeah, I have actually in my translation, complete his period of sovereignty before Yaakov arises and takes his power from him.
I see. Ad shezeh omeid, before the other arises, the note la
Yaakov, right?
a menu, and takes it from him. Right. The other one is Yaakov, because obviously if it says Esav's heel,
right,
and then it says the other, so it must be Yaakov.
Okay.
Vayikra Shemo Yaakov, he called his name Yaakov. Hakadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem.
Called Yaakov.
Right. Amar, Hashem said, Atem kerisun leave chem shame. You have given a name to your firstborn. Af ani ekra livnei
Livni b'chayri.
shame. So too, I will give a name to my firstborn.
That's Yaakov.
Chada hu. This is what it is written. This is that which is written. Vayikra shemo Yaakov. He called his name Yaakov.
Right.
So he, in this case, is Hashem.
Right.
Hashem called his name Yaakov. Devar acher, alternatively, Aviv kara lo Yaakov. His father called him Yaakov. Al shem achizas ha'akev. Because of the grasping of the heel.
Right.
He called him Yaakov because Yaakov is like the word for heel.
Right.
Ben,
the healer with a double E. No, okay. That's kind
right.
of a
Heel, not Heal, Heel.
right. It's interesting why should we call should have called him Akavi or I don't know something. Yaakov means he will heal, meaning he will hold the heel. He will be at the heel. It's like a future tense. It's interesting why that's why the name Yitzhak gave him, according to this explanation. And also HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I mean, why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu give him that name, Yaakov? According to the first explanation, that's not clear.
Right. It doesn't say why.
No.
Ben Shishim Shana, 60 years old. Eser Shanim Mi Shen Sa'a.
Mishena Sa'a.
Mi Shen Sa'a. 10 years from when he married her. Ad She Na'aseis Bas Shalosh Esrei Shana, until she turned 13 years old.
Okay, so that's the way you're translating it, and we'll see there's a problem with that. And now she became fit for pregnancy.
Right, that's according to the opinion that she was 3 when they were married.
Yeah, no, not only that, but a girl, after she reaches puberty, age of 12, already then she can become pregnant. Doesn't have to wait till 13.
So you're saying that Rashi is incorrect when he says 13.
No, I'm saying that the correct translation of the word Bas Shloshes Shoshana means she was in her 13th year, not that she was 13 years old.
Oh. That's not usually the way we use it, though, in modern Hebrew, right?
No, correct.
If I say somebody's Bas Shlosha Esrei, it means that she's 13.
Right.
Okay. Ure Uya Lehe Rayon, and become fit to be pregnant. The Eser Shanim Halalu, and those 10 years, Tzafa V'Himtin La, he hoped and waited for her. Kamo She'asa Aviv, as his father had done L'Sara, for Sarah. Kivan Shalo Nis Abra, since she did not become pregnant.
Right.
Yada Shehi Akara, he knew that she was barren. He's palel aleha, and he prayed for her. V'shifcha lo ratza lisa, and he did not wish to marry a maidservant. Lefi shenis kadesh bahar hamoria, because he had become holy on Har Moriah. Lios olah temima, to be a perfect sacrifice.
Right. So therefore, Yitzhak wasn't allowed to marry a maidservant. Somebody of a lesser.
What does that have to do? What does each one have to do with the other? What does being an olah have to do with marrying a maidservant?
So marrying a maidservant is of lesser holy status, right? Marrying a shifcha, if she marries a regular woman, then she's of a regular level of holiness. Shifcha per force, meaning by her mere status, is of a lesser level of holiness.
So why didn't he marry somebody who is at a higher level of holiness?
Meaning from the daughters of Canaan. Obviously, he didn't want the.
No, not necessarily. He could have gone back to Padan Aram.
Well, he told him not to.
Who told him not to?
Who told Avram? Avram told Eliezer, "You're not to take Yitzchak back there. He's not to leave Eretz Yisrael."
So why doesn't Yitzchak send Eliezer on a second mission? Go find me a second wife. After 5 years of no child, send Eliezer.
Yeah, it's interesting that the pasuk says he prayed for her. What about Yitzchak himself? Maybe the reason why they didn't have children was Yitzchak's problem.
Right.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it says he saw she was barren. Maybe he was barren.
Right. So I was listening to a tape this morning, and I can't remember who said B'Shem who, but he said that Yitzchak was sure that he was going to have children because Kosh Baruch Hu had promised Avram Avinu, right? Ki beYitzchak yikar lecha zara, right? And Yitzchak is going to be considered your descendant, and Yitzchak is going to not only you're going to have a son Yitzchak, but he's going to have a continuous line of descendants from him. So he knew he was going to have children, but he was concerned that Rivka wasn't going to have.
But that's not a raya, because Abraham was barren, and Hashem performed a miracle. So it could be the same thing for Yitzhak. Maybe Yitzhak.
No, I'm saying, but don't forget. But again, Avram also wasn't as barren as Sarah was, because Horiah, he married Hagar, and Ishmael was born. And that was 13 years before, 14 years before Yitzhak was born. So you see, even though
good point,
Avram's virility may have been limited, but he certainly, you see, he had a child. He had a child from Hagar.
Right.
I'm not sure exactly. So L'chayra, the pshat is he was very much concerned to have a child from Rivka Dafka. That's why he decided to daven. But it's interesting. It's mashma the 10 years he didn't daven. Sounds very strange. But from the time he got married, they didn't daven at all.
Yeah, that is very strange. I agree.
We're going to see something even more strange, but here Rashi doesn't mention it. Yeah, why he says, what I assume his pshat is, and this could be well be, is that the level of his tefillah, the urgency, the the degree of pleading which Yitzchak did was different after the 10 years than before. In the first 10 years afterwards, he davened, for sure he davened for her. But it was not as pressing and as urgent as it was as when he realized that she's barren. So Kodesh Baruch Hu, it's all up to you. There's no, I mean, obviously they didn't have, what do you call it? Test tube babies or whatever then, okay?
So I have another question for you. It says Abraham holid et Yitzchak, and the commentary says that the scoffers of the generation were going to say that that Yitzchak was the son of Avimelech.
Yeah.
So isn't the presumption that they're making that Abraham is barren?
Right. So, by the way, I once had a shmush from my mashgiach, Matzio Solomon Shlita, should be well. He said, very good point. When it comes to scoffers, right, you can come up with logic afterwards. You know, like the classic thing is the New York Times advertises on the front page some really juicy piece of nasty information about somebody, okay? And then on the next day or a week later, they put an apology on page 3, right? Little box at the bottom,
right.
Okay? But what I mean is, the scoffers can come up with a taina, even though it's not. If you really look at it logically, there's no real basis for it, because what you're going to say, exactly as you said, well, because Avram couldn't have children. I mean, Avram had children. He had Ishmael, so he wasn't the problem. And Sarah was the problem. So why should he build better from Avimelech than from Avram? Okay. But nevertheless, once there's a little bit of a opening to say, well, what's going on here? Avram's been married to Sarah for I don't know how many years. No idea how long they were married for. And he didn't have children. And all of a sudden, she gets taken by Avimelech. Whoops. Right, she's pregnant. Well, what would you conclude from that? ...
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So that's all these scoffers needed. Right? They didn't have to go too deeply into logic. You're right, 100% right. Okay. Meir, let's go back to Pasuk Chov Zayin.
Fine. Okay. Let's do that. It says, "Vayigdalu hanarim, vayihi Esav ish yodea tzayid ish sadeh, Yaakov ish tam yoshev ohalim." Okay, so let's see. The boys grew up, and Esav became a man who knew trapping.
Okay, well translated. I like that, not just hunting, trapping, because we'll see that.
Okay, so he was a man of the field, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, and Yaakov was Ish Tam. That's wholesome, perfect, or
straightforward.
Straightforward. Okay. Dwelling in tents.
Okay.
Okay, so Rashi. By the
way, it's important to point out over here, and this is what we're going to see in Rashi, the Ma'aser Tzvei. This says the pasuk tells us 2 points about Esau and 2 points about Yaakov.
Oh yeah.
The pasuk is contrasting the 2. Okay, Esau is Ish Yodea Tzayid Ish Sadeh, and Yaakov is Ish Tom, and he's Yoshev Ar. Okay, so the one goes to Ish Yodea Tzayid is corresponding to that. Yaakov is Ish Tom, and corresponding to the fact that Esau is Ish Sadeh, we said that Yaakov was Yoshev Oholi. Okay? Let's see
Okay.
Rashi.
So Vayigdalu Hana'arim Vayiyu Esau. Okay.
Esau.
The youth grew up, and Esau became Kozman She Hayu Ketanim Lo Hayu Nikarim B'Maasehem. So when they were small, right, the time I guess they were little, they couldn't recognize their doings, I guess.
Ramas and within their actions means you couldn't tell them apart.
Okay. Ve'ein adam midachdem bahem mativa.
Right. And no one paid much attention to their characters.
To their characters.
What's a major difference, you know? If I may give you, I'm not sure this was the case, but it could well be, you know, the terrible twins, right? You know, could be they're both Taka, and I'm sure Yaakov got up to as many pranks as Esau did when they were kids, right? So they both had this, should we say, sharp. Both of them had sharp minds, and they were you know, like, wouldn't mind playing a prank on somebody or something like that. Obviously, maybe good nature, whatever. But anyway, the boys will be boys. And Yaakov was no less a youngster than Esau was.
Right.
But how is it that they were so distinguishable in the womb, and now they're not distinguishable?
So it's interesting that the real character of the child, of the person, doesn't come out till he's 13. That's what it sounds like.
Oh yeah, we didn't finish this Rashi.
Okay.
Okay, so Kevan Shenaasu B'nei Shlosh Esrei Shana Ze Perash Levati Midrashot Ze Perash Lavodah Zarah. Okay, so when they turned 13, one went to the house of learning, and one went to the house of Avodah Zarah.
Okay. By the way, I know from my own experience that this is the age of 13 is a very crucial stage in a boy's maturity, how he's going to develop his character, where he's going to be heading.
Okay, let's see. What's the next one? Oh, Yodea Said. Okay, he knows tramping. Okay. Latsur Ularamot. Latsud, that's the same root.
To trap, that's what I said, yeah. As he said, you know, Esau had all the trappings. Okay. Latsud v'laramot et aviv befiv. He would trap and deceive his father with his mouth.
Oh, okay. Vishoalu, and he'd ask him, Abba, hey ach b'maasrin et hamelach v'et hateven. Teven. Oh, that's
how to tithe salt and teven. Teven is straw, stubble.
Okay, Kistavor Aviv, so his father thought, I guess, Shehu Mikdak Dake mitzvot. Oh, that he was very particular in his mitzvot, in the commandments.
Ish Sadeh.
Okay, Ish Sadeh, so a man of the field. Kemash Ma'o.
As it means literally, means he was an outgoing person.
Okay, Adam Batel, V'tzodeh B'kashto, Chayot Ofot. Okay, so he was a man that didn't do anything, I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Tell.
So where do you see that he did? Seems that see, I translate other bottle, a man without a proper occupation.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Hunts beasts and birds with his bow.
Oh, beasts and birds with his bow. Oh, okay.
That's what it means. Okay, so it could be the pshat is azoi that being a hunter is not an occupation, something which people do as a side thing, as a pastime or hobby. But generally, it's not a fully professional job. So Mela, if this is what he was doing, then he means basically he didn't really have a proper occupation. Okay, now contrasting that, Yaakov was an ish tom.
Tom. So he was perfect. Eino Baki B'chol Ela. Oh, he was a
He was not.
expert in everything.
He was not.
Oh, he
Eino
was
baki.
not. Oh,
Liboy came
Eino
piv.
Baki.
So his heart, so with his mouth. Meaning, he wasn't deceitful with his mouth. He was straightforward.
Oh, straightforward. Okay. Mishaino Harif L'Ramot Karoi Tom.
Right. Somebody's not sharp to be deceitful, right? He's called a tam.
Okay.
We find otherwise it's called like a simpleton. It's not really a simpleton. It means he's straight guy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and the last one, Yosheva Halim. He dwelt in tents. Okay. Ahalo shall Shem, Ahalo shall Aver. Oh, the tents of Shem and Aver.
Right. The tent of Shem and tent of Abel.
So he was learning then.
Right. As I said, Yaakov was the first one to have an intense learning program.
Uh-huh. Yeah, very good.
Okay, now the intense, excuse the pun. Okay,
Right, intense, right.
intense learning program. Okay, I wish you a great
Okay.
day, everybody.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Very good. Have a good day now.
See you, Mayor.
Okay, bye now.